welcome back to In the Kitchen with Delightful Donna. Today I'm making just a simple pasta for dinner for my husband and myself, and I don't really have a recipe. I'm just kind of, making it up as I go. I know I'm going to put some peppers and onions. I have some Italian sausage here and my homemade tomato sauce, and we're just going to make it happen. So we're going to start by chopping up some onion and some peppers. So I'm just going to use, this is a huge onion that I cut yesterday, and I'm just going to use a little bit of this. And then I have some red peppers here. And just a tip for you guys, I buy my peppers when they're on sale, or I get them at the farmer's market or something like that. And I cut them into strips and put them in freezer bags. And it just makes it so convenient when I want to whip something up that I have it already ready to go. All right, so we're gonna go over to the frying pan and we're gonna start sauteing this up. All right, we're gonna put our pan on about medium, roughly. And I have a pot over here that's just water. We're gonna start that to boil so we can cook our pasta. We'll put that on high. In this beautiful pot that my daughter brought me back from Mexico. And we'll start with a little bit of olive oil in our pan. Don't need too much, just a little, maybe, I don't know, a tablespoon or so. Put our peppers and onions in. While those are starting to saute, we're going to get a few cloves of garlic out. I do like fresh garlic in just about everything. All right, I'm using 4, use however many you want. This is, like I said, we're just kind of winging it. Okay, grab my knife. I'll just give these a rough chop. This is going to be very rustic tonight. We're not making perfect knife cuts. We're just doing something simple and quick that you can throw together when you come home from work. We like our garlic pretty chunky, so I'm going to leave it in pretty big pieces. We're just going to cook this onion and pepper until the onions are just about translucent. Like I said, I have them cut in big pieces. That's how we like it. If you like yours a little more fine than that, then you can chop yours a little more fine. If you're trying to hide the veggies from your kids or a spouse that doesn't like them, you can just put those into a food processor or a blender and puree them also. They'll never know. Add our garlic. You see, it doesn't take long for those to start turning translucent. They're already starting. Now I'm going to add my sausage in. This is just 1.5 sausage links. Like I said, I'm just cooking for my husband and myself tonight, and we don't have real big appetites, so just 1.5 sausage links. I'm using sweet Italian sausage. You can use whatever you like. We're just going to turn all these sausages over to the other side so they get a little browned on each side. And they don't have to be cooked completely through because we are going to put the sauce in and they'll continue to cook in the sauce. Okay. I'm going to add a little salt and pepper. About a half teaspoon of salt. Don't need much. And about a quarter teaspoon of pepper probably. As you can see, the onions are pretty much translucent. Those peppers are cooked up nicely. I'm going to lower the heat to medium. I had it on medium high. And now I'm going to put my tomato sauce. It's going to make a mess all over my counter. So same thing with the tomato sauce. When tomatoes go on sale, or we have a produce warehouse here in town, and I buy boxes from them, and sometimes it comes with cases of tomatoes. So this last time, I ended up with 2 cases of tomatoes, and that's a lot of tomatoes to have at one time. And so what I did is I go ahead and process the tomatoes. I just boil them down or roast them, either one. And then I puree them. And I usually just add garlic and a little bit of salt when I'm making it. That way it doesn't have any flavors, and then I can, season it and flavor it however I want when I cook it up. All right, I'm gonna get some tomato paste. I'm gonna add a couple tablespoons of tomato paste in here as well. I use this one from Trader Joe's. It comes in this tube, and it's so convenient because you know how you get the cans of tomato paste and you use about a quarter of it, if that. And then you're like, what do I do with this? I don't like to take the time to, freeze it on parchment paper and all that nonsense. So I buy this tube, and you just squeeze out however much you want, and you keep it in the refrigerator, and it's very convenient. All right, and that thickened our sauce a little bit for us. Now I'm gonna start with my spices. I am going to put a little bit of sugar because this is made with fresh tomatoes. It is going to be acidic, so we want to make sure that we can cut the acid. And you can do that several ways. I'm just putting about a teaspoon. And if you're making your sauce from scratch and you have all day to cook it, you can add a carrot in it, and that will really help cut down the acid as well. But since this is a quick sauce and I don't have all day, I'm going to add just a little bit of sugar, and that'll help. Again, I'm measuring with my heart. This is celery salt, ground oregano, onion powder, because we just put that in everything, garlic powder, because same reason. And then I'm going to use some freeze-dried basil. And again, you measure with what you like and your family likes. Some people don't like basil, some people don't like oregano, whatever the case may be. And now you see we have a very quick pasta sauce. Came together very quickly, very easy. Having that tomato sauce already made really helps. It's basically like a marinara sauce, so it's just very simple. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but I put them in these plastic containers. These are deli containers. And then I just put them in my freezer outside. I have a freezer in the garage. I put it in that. And then I have sauce ready whenever. And I share it with my kids and everything too. And then I just have sauce readily available. And I know it's fresh. It's made with organic tomatoes. It doesn't have that tinny taste from the canned tomato sauce. So that's how we like to do it. It's been simmering for just a few minutes. My husband decided that he wanted it a little spicy today, so we're gonna add a little crushed red pepper. It doesn't take much. Little goes a long way. That's probably too much, but you know, that's the way it goes. And let that simmer in there, and that makes it similar to what is called an arrabbiata sauce, just basically like a spicy tomato sauce. And then a little trick, I'm sure I've shared with you guys before, but we're gonna share again just in case, is if you want something to taste like it cooked all day, but you don't have all day, add a bay leaf. I don't know why. It doesn't even really have a flavor. I don't know how the magic happens. I just know it happens. So we'll put that in there. Like I said, we're gonna keep it at about medium. And we'll let that simmer until our pasta's done. Our water's boiling. We wanna salt it real good, because as Emerald Lagasse says, I don't know where you get your water from, but mine doesn't come seasoned. Let that come back up to a boil. You'll see it's gonna come up really quickly. And then I'm using this pappardelle pasta, and they come in these little, they call it a nest, but it's basically like these little, they're real cute. And then we're gonna just toss a few of those in there. And that's probably enough. Maybe one more. You know, never have too much pasta. Oh, we got one that snuck out of the bag. We better throw it in there. All right, we're gonna let that come back up to a boil and cook that for about, once it comes to a boil, we'll cook it for about 8 minutes. All right, pasta is done. Now we're gonna drain it. And while it's nice and hot, so I don't drip on my floor, I'm gonna come over here to the sauce, and we're gonna put it right in there. And if you don't want to put it directly in your sauce, you don't have to. I like to do that. You can serve it over it as well. And we'll turn this up a little bit and let this go just a couple of minutes to let that sauce really get into those noodles. And we'll get ready to plate it. All right, we have it plated up. I've just put a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top. Let's give it a taste. These are really long noodles, so let's see. Oh, it's hot. I can already see it. Very good. Not too spicy. It does have a little bit hint of heat. If you don't want heat, then don't add the crushed red pepper, but it's perfect for us. Maybe a little too spicy for little kids, but it is good for us. We appreciate you watching our videos. This is a short one today. We just got back from vacation, so I just wanted to do something quick to come on here and tell you guys that I really appreciate everything. And we finally hit our 1,500 subscribers on YouTube, so we're very excited about that. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media, and thanks for watching. Bye.